Could you guys mind introducing yourselves again? I've forgotten who all of you are at this point. It's been so long.
It has. We haven't seen each other in a little while.
It has. It's been a long break.
It's been very sad.
You know, you guys have always called me Mike, but the truth is I prefer Michael. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Please don't call me that.
Now we know. I call you Michael sometimes.
Yeah, you do. Actually, Bill, I like it when you do that.
It's only when you're in trouble do you get called your full name.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
William.
I have obviously I have a middle name like a lot of people, but I also have a suffix. When my mom would get mad at me, it would be my full name. And again, Donnie is short for Donald, so it would be Donald, middle name, like the third. And yeah, it would. I was like, oh shit, it's on, because it take her like a full 7 seconds to say my full name, and I was like, well,
you're the third.
I am the third.
I'm the fourth. I'm the fourth.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You got some dynasties in here.
Yeah. My son is the fourth. He's
What?
I'm the fourth. Yeah.
Wow.
God.
Don, I always thought your middle name began with an E. It was Don E.
No, that's incorrect. That's incorrect.
And he doesn't like it spelled. He doesn't like it spelled like or like Donnie Wahlberg.
No.
Do you know my name actually does work that way? You know, my first name is Michael. Mike, and then my middle initial is L, so it's Mike L.
Mike L.
Nice.
Mike L.
I used to tell people my middle name was Lee. Brad Lee.
Nice.
Brad Lee.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I had a friend.
My middle initial is L, also Michael.
My middle initial
Bill.
is also L.
Bill.
Oh, fellas, I didn't know we had so much in common with
That's
each
crazy.
other.
Everyone is writing this down so they can guess our secret questions when trying to get into our accounts.
Well, my middle name is nowhere in any of my information.
It's funny.
It's just an L.
If you convert my mother's maiden name, which is this, to numbers, and you add it to my social security number, which is this, it's surprisingly close to my bank account number, which is this. It's just a couple digits off. Isn't that crazy?
You know, my bank reached out to me by email the other day and asked me to provide my social security number to make sure it was me. I thought that was very thoughtful,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I sent it right to them.
Right back at him. Here you go, guys. Here you go. Thanks.
Look, the Prince said he needs iTunes gift cards. Who am I to question that?
Dude, I'm not going to lie.
They use it
One of
for
the guys
currency
at
in
work,
Nigeria. I swear.
one of the guys at work got an email from. It said it was from like one of our owners' name, but like the company email address was just slightly off, and he didn't catch it. And he went and bought $1,000 worth of gift cards because it's like, hey, we're doing something nice for the staff. Can you go to Best Buy and buy, $100 gift cards, and then just buy them digitally and send them here, and we're gonna take care of it. And he called me. He's like, dude, what can I do about this? I'm like, ask the company if they'll give you back $1,000. I don't know.
We almost got tagged in 2002. Like when the email was still kind of a brand new thing. It was like one of the early Nigerian prince scams, and we were trying to rent our house. We were traveling for 9 months, trying to rent the house out, put it up on like Craigslist or whatever. And the guy like had this super interested guy. Yeah, I'm coming over from Africa and I'm moving furniture over. I'm going to send you a check for the mover right now, and I'll make it out to this much. When he said, yeah, and it was interesting because he was super interested.
Money orders.
We hadn't heard about these scams at all at that point. This is like over 20 years ago. And so like, something's a little weird about it. So we dig into go into Bing or Yahoo or whatever it was at the time. And sure
Alta
enough,
Vista,
like there's
or Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, it was Ask Jeeves. That's what it was. Yeah. And sure enough, like the exact same worded email was like popping up on these weird search forums. I was like, okay.
That's crazy.
Awesome.
Well, it's nice to see you, fellas. Did you have a nice holiday break?
Did, yeah, it was really great.
Cool, very nice.
We had a lot of, of course, we took 3 weeks, and we took 3 weeks because I had to go to New Mexico, where I grew up. Donnie had to go rotate out to South Africa for a while. Bill was in Pittsburgh, right? And Chris was in rural Minnesota. And Brad, you went somewhere too, or did you? I can't remember now. Or did you
Just
stay home?
around, like a couple hours away. I went down to South Dakota, and then over to the cities for a little bit.
So we just, we were all over the place, and the truth is that this happened to us in leading into 2023 as well. But at that point, we had so many episodes banked and were able to work ahead. But as 2023 just ground on, we started recording closer and closer to release, and that was a cool way to get like really fresh episodes, and that was great for like continuity. For those of you that are listening to this, you'd be surprised when you record 3 or 4 episodes ahead how quickly you can lose the continuity of what you might have recorded like 3 weeks ago. And so we were struggling with that. Anyway, long story short, we appreciate the break, and we're happy to get back to this, though. And true to form, we left off in the middle of a kingdom turn. I can't believe
it's
we
great.
did that.
It's great to like take a break right in the middle of a complicated matter.
It is,
Right
yeah.
in the middle of a complicated
And it's
matter.
so hard because it's such an enjoyable process, Kingdom Turns. I mean,
Yes,
I just
Kingdom Turns.
I didn't want to quit. I wanted to keep going for the rest of the night.
reason
I like the
play.
kingdom turns.
It's the reason we play.
Yes. We did leadership activities. You guys tried to throw a feast with Jathel, but then we read the whole rule and went, no, we're not doing
Like,
that.
whoa,
That
that's
was my favorite part.
expensive.
It's expensive. Throwing in a feast of Ergothoa is costly. It's quite costly.
But if you think about it from a storytelling perspective, it's ballsy
Yeah.
to have your
Yeah.
cliffhanger based on basically somebody doing a math problem. Like there's 4 guys trying to solve a math problem, and we're just like, you know what? We'll pick back up in 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks,
Right?
yeah. We'll pick
We'll have
right
your
back up.
solution in 3 weeks.
Find out next time.
I'm not gonna
3
lie.
weeks.
When the TV shows do that, like when they stop and made something like, "We'll come back next week," I'm like, "Fuck you! I'm not coming back now."
Yeah.
Just finish the episode.
Gosh, you guys want to play Kingmaker?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. We get to do a Kingdom Turn. Let's go.
Yeah, well, we got to finish. You guys finished your leadership phase. It's time. I'm sorry, your activity phase. No, I'm sorry.
Leadership
You finished your
activity.
leadership activity. Now you get to do
Region.
3 region activities and a civic activity. But I have some interesting news because I was sitting around. This occurred to me over the break. Last episode, I failed you guys on a skill check when you rolled a 14. Well, the level 1 kingdom has a DC 14. So I screwed you guys, and I don't remember what I failed you guys on, but I did. I did that. But you guys didn't catch it either. And there's 4 of you and 1 of me. So I think it's your fault. But anyway,
Okay.
yeah, thank you. But anyway, it seems to me, remember we talked about how we were going to kind of play it loose with the experience points, the fact that we're not going to do, 12 kingdom turns in a row or something, our poor listeners. So I've decided you guys are level 2. The kingdom's level 2. Your control DC is 15. You legitimately failed your skill check, whatever it was last episode, therefore.
We're going to retcon okay.
We're just going to do something now to make it right before, Anyway, so your kingdom is level 2. Now you don't get to build anything new because you don't get new lots in your urban grid until your 3rd level kingdom. So it's not a huge deal, but I will let you guys pick a feat here at the end of this kingdom turn. We'll just do it in the wrong order on purpose. I'm going to hand it over to you guys to do your region activities.
All right.
Well, I think the first thing we need to do is acquire more land. So let's, what is it? Acquire hex or
Claim hex.
claim hex?
Let's expand
what-
the empire.
Yes, expand the empire. So as far as territory, what kind of land do we want? We've already got a farm. We're thinking forest to.
I always forget, does forest give us wood where we can, when we actually,
you put a work
I
site.
said that wrong. Does it give you lumber so you can eventually build things?
Forest.
I don't
How
know, it gives
excited
someone-
does this forest make you, Chris? Really, tell us.
I don't know. It makes a sound when a tree falls. I don't know
Jesus.
that.
Yes, you can establish a work site on a forest hex to get lumber.
I vote we do that. I think we're going to need that more,
Yeah.
but I'm open to
Yep.
discussion.
I think we should get Forest Hex.
Especially if we're going to start building stuff, we're going to need.
Cool.
Well, and to review for our listeners who can't see the map, right now the kingdom consists of 2 hexes. We got Fort Trand built on the Staglord's Fort, and then you guys claimed the Fangberry Thicket hex, where you first encountered Micmac all those months ago, which is northwest of Fort Trand. Now, are you looking at some of these hexes to the west then into the Greenbelt? I see 3
Northwest,
potential. You've got the Endangered Expedition hex where you met Jubilost. You've got the Trapped Thylacine hex where you found the thylacine. I was going to set up a whole thing about that until Kritala died. And then you've got Tuskgutter's Lair where Sirio got mauled.
We're going to go Tuskgutters, I believe.
Okay. Well, cool.
Yep. So yeah, we're kind of building north through the forest and maybe eventually connect up to Oleg's.
Okay. Very good.
We do want to get
Kinda
to the
get a
Temple of
route.
the Elk.
Yeah, and I think every little hex, we put a little plaque that says this happened. Like George Washington slept here houses that you get in New England.
Yep.
Like Syria was gored by a boar here,
Chris almost
right?
died
Things
in
like
this
that.
pit.
Yeah.
Historic sites, if you will.
There you go.
Some are free entry, some charge admission.
Ooh, good call. Money-making opportunity.
As soon as
like
the
it.
kingdom
In the
gets
spirit
bigger,
of Kritala,
The spirit of Kritalamania, he would be so proud of you right now.
Well, the prereq here is that you have reconnoitered this hex. You have done so. So let's see. You got to spend a resource point and attempt a basic exploration, intrigue, magic, or wilderness check. You can pick the skills.
we're good at intrigue.
Cool. All right, let's get that intrigue roll.
Who's going to do our first roll of 2024? Who's going to start us off for the year?
I think the
you guys
king
want
does.
me to
I
do
think
it?
I think you know what, Brad? Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I do want you to do it.
No, you don't want me to do it.
Brad, this is 2024 now. You don't roll low anymore. You roll high.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a new
Okay.
thing for you.
Well, somebody's already rolling.
I was just testing out my new die.
Okay.
I'm not rolling.
Okay, all right.
Well, because Max, my nephew, got me die for Christmas that have an owl inside of them.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
That is a good point. I will use die that I got from Christmas from a friend who's also a listener. She knows me well, and she knows that I throw my dice, so it glows in the dark. So
Nice.
I can find it.
oh, so you can
Let's
find it.
find it.
I will not be throwing that die. That is a natural 18.
Yeah.
See,
Look
look
at
at that.
There we go.
Nice.
There we go.
New
You
year.
roll high now.
Year. I roll high.
New
Oh
year,
my
new
God, that's
Brad.
like a new you. What's your bonus to intrigue? You might have crit it.
Our sheet says 8, but since we got to level 2, all those go up by 1, right?
Yeah, sure.
19.
So 19.
20.
So 29.
29?
27.
27.
27.
DC 15. You crit 25 and
Boom.
up. Critical success. You claim the hex immediately.
Wow.
I'm sorry. You claim the hex and immediately add it to your territory, increasing your kingdom size by 1. This affects all statistics determined by size. Your occupation of the hex goes so smoothly that you can immediately attempt another region activity. So now you get a bonus region activity, I guess.
God,
So
we
you
didn't
got
plan for that.
3 more.
That kind of makes up for our first turn failing hard.
Yeah.
Trying to claim
Yeah.
the hex.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still only claim 1 hex at level 1. You can still only claim 1 hex around, but you got 3 more region activities.
Well, yeah,
Fuck
let's
yeah.
keep working on this hex and establish a work site.
Okay, so let's see. This is an engineering skill. You hire a crew of workers to travel to a hex that contains lumber, ore, or stone to be harvested. Spend resource points as determined by the hex's most inhospitable terrain. This would be forest, so I'll look that up for you. Then attempt a basic check. Lumber camps can be established in any hex that contains a significant amount of forest terrain. I'd say that qualifies here. Mines and quarries can be established in any hex that contains a significant amount of hill or mountain terrain. All right, so I'm looking at the table here. Forests cost 4 resource points to make the attempt. So deduct 4 resource. If this is still what you want to do, deduct 4 resource points from your total. I know you got a ton right now. And we need an engineering check, DC 15.
Engineering, all right. So we add, we will add 8.
8.
I'm rolling.
Who's your own? Nice.
Choo.
Ooh, I only rolled a 5, so that's 13.
13 total.
Yeah.
Ooh, fail.
Ooh, failure. You failed to establish a worksite in the hex. Do you want to turn in the 0 check?
We can use those on.
We can use them on anything.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, of course you can. I'm inducing you right now.
He wants.
Should we
Serial
zero
to
check,
take
or
the
does it prevent
zero.
us from using another region activity to try it again?
It does. You can
we
can
get
try
that bonus
again.
one, right? So,
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
just wasted the bonus one. No big deal.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I'm not rolling
and 4
again.
resource
That
points.
was my
You
turn.
got
That was
plenty
my
of
try.
resource points. So, wanna try
Donnie,
again?
you want to roll or you want me to roll it?
You roll it.
Natural 13 plus 8.
You got it.
21 to get it, yeah.
Yep.
Success. You establish a worksite in the hex. You set up the Kritala Memorial Lumber Mills in the hex containing Tuskgutter's lair. So I'm going to put a little L here to show you got a lumber mill there. Oh, that's wonderful. You know, I smell opportunity here, and it's not just because Bill made the suggestion off the air. But it seems to me you are clearing Tuskgutter's lair. Bill, you and I have talked a little bit. You turned in Hoot. You put Hoot out to the owl pasture last couple episodes ago. You're without an animal companion. So you, perhaps, while building the Kritala Memorial Lumber Mills, take me through the scene. What happens? What's going on? You're getting a boar? Is that true?
Yeah. I'm getting a a pig, as it were.
A pig.
A pig. I'm getting a boar. Eventually, he's going to have armor plates, and he's going to be amazing. But right now, he's just a boar.
Okay. So the lumber mills are near Tuscutter's lair where Sirio got mauled. Maybe Tuscutter had a little baby boar that you guys overlooked last time. You get there, you see there's a little baby boar.
I would say he's medium-sized. He's medium-sized.
His little okay, well, I don't know. And he's so young that his little hooves are still soft, and pink.
No.
I don't know. Does he have to,
He's got to be able to do combat.
He's a teenage boar.
Yeah, he's an
teenage boar.
He's all angsty. He's wearing all black. He's got eyeliner on.
Yep.
And now, Bill, can you make a good boar sound?
Yep. Okay.
I fucking knew it. I fucking knew you could.
That's awesome.
Oh my goodness. What's your boar's name?
Pig.
Okay.
Well, you can pronounce that.
that.
You can't pronounce a squeal unless you mimic the sound.
Yeah.
But then how do you spell that?
I thought maybe you were going to go with Tuscutter Jr. or something,
Nope,
but
just pig.
You've selected pig.
Tuscutter the third. Tuscutter the third.
Oh, the third. That's right.
We just can't take him into the Great Hall to see Dad's mounted on the.
Dude, I was going to say that.
Oh,
that's right.
That's right.
Dad's head's on the wall. Don't worry. Don't worry about that.
Tuscutter.
It's a place of honor.
Wow.
It's a place of honor.
Look how we've honored your father.
I mean, we put him there, but whatever.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, so you claimed Tuscutter's lair hex, created a lumber mill, the Kritala whatever, and you got a boar. Wow. That's very
claimed
good.
claimed his lair and his offspring. Thank you.
That's right. You claimed his offspring. Oh
So like the farm, the lumber mill lets us harvest a commodity at the beginning of our next kingdom turn.
Cool. That's good.
Nice.
That's very good.
Doing well.
You guys have one more region activity left.
Donnie's rolling for it. That's all I know.
You want me to roll for it and you decide what it is?
And then decide what it is.
Okay. It's like, no. Oh, or you want to harvest crops, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So harvesting crops is just kind of where it's just not scavenging. I guess it's living off the land basically.
Harvest Crops here says, attempt a basic check to forage for wild edibles or gather excess crops from farms. This is an agriculture check, DC 15.
All right, I'm going to roll.
I hope you crit fail it. It'd be funny because you'd lose food.
Let's see how I'm rolling in 2024. How about a natural 20?
What?
Nice.
Oh my God.
Swear to God. I'm glad I did it on my harvest crops, but I did it.
Harvest crops. Crit success, gain 1d4 food commodities. Donnie, please do the honors. Roll a d4.
All right, that's going to be 3 is what I
Whoa.
We had 2. We max out at 4, so we are at 4 or 4 on food.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Very good.
Good thing I wore my tractor hat tonight.
Yeah,
farming.
We're LARPing.
We are LARPing.
Gosh. Okay. Let's see. Civic activities. Now we are a level 2 kingdom. Your settlement, Fort Trand, is still level 1 and cannot go to level 2 until after your kingdom ascends to level 3, as I understand it. So the build, the structure, civic activity is unavailable to you because you've filled up your town. And of course, I don't think you're going to demolish anything. So my understanding is that you're going to skip the civic activities portion of the leadership phase.
I mean, unless we hold some kind of some kind of civic class for our people. Explain the sanitation. You can't leave your shit out in the street and all that. No, never mind. Skip
Roll
that.
to create your lesson plan. I'm going to initiate the event phase. The first thing I got to do is check for a random event. Now, you had a random event last time, so the DC is a DC 16 flat check. So I'm just going to roll that for you fellas, and that's an 11 on the die, so no random event this time. Apply Kingdom XP. I'll wave my hand and do that. Oh, you're still level 2. And that's it. We are done with this phase. It's still the
get to
dead
pick a feat.
of winter.
Kingdom
yes,
feat.
you got to pick a feat. Thank you. Go ahead. You guys talked about this a little bit.
Yeah, we looked them over, and a lot of the prerequisites require being trained in a skill that we're not trained in. So we're going to kind of look at this general one of cooperative leadership.
Take me through it.
Cooperative leadership. Your leaders are skilled at working with one another. When a leader uses the focused attention kingdom activity to aid another leader's kingdom check, the circumstance bonus granted by a success increases to +3 instead of +2. So
it's awesome.
It's a little bit, but as we know, +1's a big deal.
+1's a big deal.
+1's a big deal. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's over. We did it. Congratulations, everybody. Let's do another kingdom turn. No, I'm just kidding. A couple things occur the next day. You guys are sort of correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what's going on right now is that there is a bit of a lull in the adventuring that's happening. I think you guys are going to pass the winter here in Fort Trand. Is that true?
Well, define winter. How many months is that? Like, how many times do we have to go through the full moon? That's kind of that's a concern of mine. Is
probably at least through early March. So I'd say at least 2 more cycles.
Right.
Well, you got 2 more full moons.
So Valerie kind of giving me side eye. She needs to.
She's
shut
still
her mouth
here
for 2 months.
She's just hanging out. She's around, but I would assume she's.
Let's talk about that. Huh. She is not in Fort Trand right now.
Okay.
After being demoted, she
was it a demotion or a resignation?
Yeah,
she resigned. She resigned.
I thought we settled this last episode.
We don't have HR. We don't have a paper letter of resignation. But,
she quit.
Did she resign in lieu of termination? Was this a constructive
discharge?
There was no
discussion of termination.
She quit.
She turned.
She quit and walked out.
Yeah, she quit and walked out.
She didn't even turn in her uniform or her badge. Like,
are you going to garnish her wages?
I say we should.
I mean, she should be happy she left for their life.
I-9 her ass.
Oh my God, she's not here. She's not in Fort Trand. She left. Okay, she's left the settlement. You're not initially sure where she is now. She let Sirio know she left, but she was leaving, and she left. So that's the first thing I got to tell you guys.
Hold on. So she was a member of our organization, which is not democratic, and that's cool.
Free association. That's fine. We're just down to 492 citizens.
I mean, she has sensitive information. Like, I just want to have the discussion that it's okay for those.
Yeah, but I think just her, I don't know. She's big on honor, and I don't know. I still don't think she'd actually betray us.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she told you she'd keep your secret, but I mean, maybe I'm making too big or not enough of a deal about this. I mean, she let you know, hey, I'm leaving. I might come back, I might not, I don't know. But she's left, and she headed back to Rostov, where she came from. So that's the first order of business that I need to tell you guys. Something else happens. We're a couple days later. You get word that Octavia wants to come in and bring a matter to your attention, and she wants to see the king.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's up to Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I got office hours posted.
Okay. We're not going to give her. It's like she's not going to see the king alone. That's
up to you
not
guys.
Going to happen.
Yeah. So is this like a private audience kind of thing, or or is she just in the line with everyone else when we hold court?
She's asked to address you. Now, I mean, you can set that parameter. Do you want to receive her alone, or do you tell her you can come and speak openly?
Yeah, we can be alone with just our other top advisors plus our new friend Og.
Og's there for some reason. Octavia enters, and she walks into the center of the room, and she stands like 15 feet away from Sirio, who appears to be seated on a large wooden chair with Lindsay to his right, and looks like everyone else is here. She says, "King, thank you for your time. I appreciate you seeing me."
Oh, sure thing. Yeah. What do you have to bring?
She thinks for a moment, and she looks down at her feet, and you can tell that she had something prepared that she wanted to say, but that now that she's here, the context is so different between what her prep was and now that she's here. and sort of the reality that she's standing in front of all the advisors and the king has set in on her, you can tell that the words have left her.
Didn't we save her life?
Yes. You rescued her from the Hungarian slavers.
She is not a slave.
Yeah, she's no longer enslaved. Yeah. And she looks up and she goes, King Sertova, I need you to know that I had nothing to do with Grigori's lobbying. I don't know why he's latched onto me. I think it's out of convenience because I like to talk and help out the townsfolk.
Yeah, and it's tricky for Sirio since we some of the stuff that Gregory has been saying is a little bit true. Like, we haven't been around a whole lot. So as far as her like rep with our citizens, I mean, she may well be well liked. So I don't really know that. I guess Amiri's here. I kind of nod over her and it's like, what do the people think of her, Amiri?
Amiri immediately is like, well, Octavia works at the Dundee Sundry's brunch soup kitchen, and she gave out toys on Christmas, and she's very nice to everybody. Everybody loves her. She's also very nice.
Yeah, and then I guess just from what Octavia was saying, I'll see if I can make a perception check to tell if she's doing any kind of lies or anything like that.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh, 30 total.
No, I mean, she's being truthful, but she's nervous, and you think something else is coming. She's about to ask you for something.
Yeah. I was like, well, I kind of believe it. You seem nice enough. Has Grigori approached you?
Only once.
And what did he say?
He asked if I would accept his support to try to wrest power from you. I told him no.
But
oof, that's a.
Is there a but there? Like, can we tell? Can we tell if like she's about to say something else?
No, she just says that. But then she pauses for a moment to see if you say anything. If you don't, she'll continue. She says, King, I don't want to be a problem. I don't want to live here and be a problem. I want to leave, but I want to stay in the... What I'm trying to tell you is that Ragongar and I, we think that there's a good place for another village. And, well, what I'm proposing is that I take some citizens, we establish a village in which I'm the mayor under your authority in your kingdom. We have 2 potential sites that we think would work really well, and I want to talk to you about whether this is something you'd be willing to do. But you can tell she's already kind of doubting herself and is like, what am I doing? But she's like, think about it. I leave here. We expand. I can continue helping. I would be mayor.
We'd get rid of the Gregory problem. Well, it wouldn't get rid of it, but it would definitely put a damper on his plans.
Well, what I'm seeing is that she just admitted that Grigori wants to overthrow the king. Right?
I noticed that too, but I'm not going to bring that up until she's gone.
Well, right, but like what I think the pitch is here is that I like this plan. Like, I like her idea. Like, let's expand our kingdom. We're still rulers over her. She's managing our kingdom for her if we think we can trust her. But I think a sign of that trust would be her publicly denouncing Grigori and telling everyone what he asked her to do so we can get rid of him. Because he's definitely breaking the rules there. We
could just explain it as loyalty to the king.
Right.
Like, hey, I went to the king. I told him everything. And, like, who cares? We don't have to explain it to anybody. Technically, we don't.
Right. But her testifying that that's what he wants her to do.
Yeah. Like,
and then we can publicly take him down.
I think he at least needs to answer questions on what was his plan to replace leadership, given that there are no means outside of death for the king stepping down. So, what was his plans to change leadership?
Or we could just go send for him and drag him in front of the king right now with her, and be like, "Hey, we're gonna go grab Grigori. We like your plan. Chris can, the king can either approve it or not. But we want to get this Grigori thing out of the way now.
Well, I mean, but a sign of her loyalty would be throwing him under the bus.
Yeah. But I don't want to pull her out in public because maybe that's not her thing.
Sure.
Let's not make her uncomfortable.
She's asking to rule. She needs to be comfortable in the public.
Yeah.
But right now you can tell she's nervous and timid. Let's not break her before we can make her.
Well, no, I mean, and also like she was pointed out in front of the whole kingdom by Grigori as somebody who should rule. So she needs to quell that and say, I am not the ruler of this kingdom. I am going to help them expand their kingdom. I am under the rule of Sirio Sertova, and this man wants to replace him.
I mean, I understand that. I just don't want her to I don't want her to feel like we're forcing her to do it. That's why if we drag him in here with just us in the room, we can hash it all out.
Is this discussion occurring in front of her, or
I don't think so. I was gonna pipe in there, but we were having a good chat. I kind of say, Octavia, your plan sounds interesting. Walk it through in a little more detail. And I asked Lindsay to come out, pull out the map of the kingdom and our currently claimed hexes. And I was like, where are you thinking this is going to be, and all that kind of stuff. And then I let her know, give us 2 hours and come back, and we'll give you our decision.
Well, so you roll out the map, and she looks at it and she says, okay, I see 2 good locations. First of all, the first proposal is that I establish a town on top of Oleg's trade post. He seems willing, and I have discussed this prospect with him. Of course, he told me that nothing would happen unless you were good with it and everything, but he is acceptable. The other option would be this area here, and she points out a hex that you've never been to before. It's right here. It's in the middle of the green belt, and a river runs through it. It is 2 hexes west of Fort Trand, so it's a lot closer than Oleg's trade post. She says, Ragonger and I had, I guess what you could call a little expedition of our own, where we met. Well, it's a long story, but we found a den full of tatzelworm near this area. We cleared them out, and we think that it would be a fine place for a town. She says, if I were to go to Oleg's, I would name the town Olegton. If I were to go to the tatzelworm den, I would name the town Tatzelford.
Well, the names we can talk about later, but this seems like you've put a lot of time and thought and effort into this since you've already made contact with Oleg. You've been discussing this with your partner. It seems like this may have been a plan you've had going for a while now. Are you sure you haven't been working more closely with Gregory, or are these two separate things? You had an idea to be mayor of a town, and then Gregory approached you. Like, how'd that shake out?
He and I are both opportunists. Yes, I've been looking at this, but he saw that and decided to see if I'd be interested in anything bigger, but I'm not.
Well, we are interested in expansion for sure. We do need to discuss this since leadership in the kingdom is a big step. We don't really know you. So come back in a couple hours and we'll let you know.
She leaves.
All right, guys.
I think Oleg's is out.
Yeah, I don't want to do Oleg's.
That's too strategic of a location.
Yeah, and part of it is setting up villages and towns. And I mean, we don't have cell phones. We don't have email. We don't have that kind of infrastructure to be able to manage a wider area. So we're going to have these little mini mayors or governors.
Yep.
Is Octavia a good candidate? She sounds ambitious enough. Like a timid, ambitious. How old is she?
She's half elven, so it can be hard to tell, but she looks to be in her late 20s to early 30s. She's older than Sirio.
Oh, yeah, she's twice my age. I like it. I don't think we're big enough to have another settlement yet, so we can kind of temper our answer with that. Like, maybe in the future, but not now. Because, like, wouldn't we need to expand to there to install her, or would she be going out on her own and trying to set up a thing? Because at that point, it'd be a competing kingdom.
What it would be is, I think it's like a vassal. I think there's a rule for this where you wouldn't have the hex, but you would have the settlement. The rules would still work. Your consumption would go to 2, and everything. You could build on those lots during the next kingdom phase. It's just the numbers start getting bigger. But no, you can have multiple villages at first level. And then you would just need to expand that way, which you kind of already are.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just saying that it would be part of our kingdom. It wouldn't be a separate.
Yes, it would be part of the kingdom. Yeah, you would just still need to claim the hex at some point.
I would be comfortable with the lot with the worms. What were they? The
tapeworms?
The tatzelworm den.
Tatzelworms. But I would also like to, with prerequisite, that either Knock Knock or Micmac go with her.
No.
Station one of them there to report anything that's amiss. Like, not like, no, don't tell her this, but like, tell Knock Knock, like, you see anything up, like, come let us know.
Yeah,
like,
and that kind of raises an interesting thing with you, Bill. Dry and Jathel, have you guys worked out a little spy network, or
not yet? We haven't been in the kingdom long enough. I've seen her like.
So
last time I saw her, I was saving her life.
Mitch would have this conversation with Dry. He's like, we need to install somebody there to keep an eye that we can trust.
Of course, could it not be one of the goblins or whatever they are?
I mean, I'm trying to find who's like the most loyal to us. And like, Knock Knock and Sirio had like a real heart to heart about,
I mean, I get it.
Religion, it's. He could be our boy.
Somebody who could like talk without offending everybody would be better.
I think of between Micmac and Knock Knock, Micmac is, I think, the more diplomatic.
Right. He's got the lower ink score.
He's Kobold, right?
Yeah, he's the kobold. Micmac you met in a fangberry bush, and then you rescued him from under the sycamore.
Yeah,
you might recall.
I was going off
Tristan. What's Tristan doing? Oh wait, he died.
Yeah, he's not doing. He's not doing much right now.
By a bear.
Oh yeah, he's dead. Where's Neela Trand? Where's Neela Trand at?
Oh, we could send her.
Neela's here. It's just that in general, your NPCs are going to start spreading out more. You're just going to need to go to them, wherever they are.
Yeah.
I just want somebody we can trust to be there.
I say we send Neela Trand because she can be helpful. She's a good sword. She's not going to piss everybody off. And I just have a feeling like one of the Micmac or the other guys going to be like, well, I'm just going to go tell King Sirio on you. And then that's not what we need either.
Yeah, you think that Neela has a more
street smarts.
She's got more soft skills.
Yes.
All right. I like this. You guys like this?
Yeah. Let's pitch it to her.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
And we'll sell Neela as going to help her establish her kingdom because she's a good sellsword. She's a good fighter.
Well, I guess we haven't heard from Og yet. He's listening to all this. What's his?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Og.
Og.
Yeah, Og doesn't really have an opinion on anything that you're talking about. He's very interested in all of it. Yeah, he doesn't really know any of these people, so he's like, yeah, you should absolutely make it bigger. Yeah, and I think she'd make a good mayor or whatever you called it.
What's his take academically?
If you read in the histories that you've got to expand or you die. So yeah, we got to expand the kingdom.
And I also think it's good to have a fort out there, so if somebody attacks from the other side, we have a
yep.
Oh, buffer states. I like it.
We'll have a first line of defense.
Okay.
Or the first to sell out.
At least we'll know.
To establish Tassel Ford, this
we might have to talk about the name.
Tassels.
Chris, you're going to have to proclamate. You know that, right?
Well, that's what Octavia wants to call the city.
Four tassels.
I don't fucking care.
4 tassels.
Tassel Ford. I like Tassel Ford. I like Tassel Ford. It's not that bad.
Kritalamania.
Who's that?
Mike, if you keep killing
it'll have a roller coaster. Oh man,
if you keep
probably get turkey legs.
Donnie's characters. Our whole city's going to be named after Donnie's dead characters.
That's right.
Ogville's coming.
Oh my god. All right. So you send for Octavia then a couple hours later?
Yeah.
That discussion only takes us 30 minutes, but we spent an hour and a half having drinks and chatting about
having
sports ball.
Well, I'll tell you what, actually, before you send for...
Sirio, can you have Greg dragged in here? I want him to be part of this conversation.
I think they're two separate issues. This is something that Octavia's kind of wanted to do anyway, and Gregory just happened to approach her about straight up overthrowing us.
Yeah, but I want him to see how this is transpiring for him. That it's not going to end well.
That his plan is collapsing in front of his eyes.
I just like to see all the light fade from his eyes.
Oh, Well, I was thinking about maybe dropping this when Octavia came back in, but I guess we can talk about it now. I was thinking maybe a condition of setting her up to kind of govern her own place would be to turn and work as a double agent against Gregory. Have her go back to him and say, I changed my mind. I will help you. And then she basically feeds us his plan, and then we can use that to convict his ass.
Love it.
Can we hang him in the public square?
We don't have the resource points to build a gallows yet.
Heads on spikes, fellas. Heads on spikes.
Yeah, you guys have filled all your lots.
There's no gallows slot.
No gallows.
All right. Well, while you're talking this through and everything, you notice that Jubilos Narthropple comes into the room. And, he's been here. He's been around. He's been working. He's been looking at the books, right? Jubilost, he's found them. He's found Kritala's shoebox full of crap, right?
All the
amongst
receipts.
His personal effects, right? And he's like going through, and he's like, King, do you have a moment? Type 5.
What's up?
You got 5 minutes?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't have my abacus out, but what's going on?
First of all, I have status report for you on the state of the books. Everything does appear to be in order. Kritala added and subtracted well. We do need to talk about tax policy at some point. Kritala's tax policy was he was taxing people 3 ways. He was taxing people on their income that they were earning, on the value of the land that they owned, and also on the sale of goods that they purchased. Now, this is likely fine, but please understand that the sundries will strongly object to this practice, but that's a matter for another time. I found something else on his in his personal effects. It appears to be a letter of some sort, and I think it is to you, and I have it here. And he holds it up, and it's on this like parchment, and he says, What do you want me to do with this? You don't want me to read it out loud here, do you?
Well, have you read it yourself?
I have reviewed it, yes.
Is it good news or bad news?
Well, it is interesting, to say the least. I think there are good and bad things contained in this note.
Yeah, I asked Dry to come up and take a look at it.
And he
Sweet.
We can Dry read.
To you.
Yes, he can read.
Yeah, Dry,
you went to school.
I went to school, Brad.
He was like ranger school, though, like bows and swords and shit.
I can read trees.
General Colmay, as you can see, it appears to be a contingency note, something to be read in the case of his untimely passing.
Well, it was untimely.
Here's what it says. And he holds it in front of him awkwardly, and he goes, to the millions and millions of devastated Kritalamaniacs out there.
I like how this is in Narthropple's voice.
Is Narthropple going to cut a promo?
Right.
The unthinkable has happened, and the Critster finally had to put death over. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe he worked himself into a chute. Maybe he lost his smile, or maybe Kritala screwed Kritala. Slow head shaking. Be sad. I think these are emotes that he's inserted into the letter. It continues. Start shaking head faster. Look into camera. Not mean face. Excited face. Optimism in voice. Pick your chins up. Dry those tears. As long as each and every one of you keeps saying your prayers, eating your vitamins, and tossing your thylacines, Kritalamania will never die. Serious, low voice, like a mean whisper. Serious, low voice, like a mean whisper. Point at camera and squint. Do scary stuff with head and hand gestures. Gradually build back into enthusiasm. I'll attempt this into the toughest SOBs that I've been running up and down the road with. Oh, I think he means you guys. After you find the stupid son of a bitch that killed me and chokeslam his ass straight to hell, you can find someone to join the greatest group of professional adventurers today. As for my body, after you feel it's been on public display for enough time to really let the kingdom grieve, please lay it to rest within the kingdom. Because we've always said once you're in Shrikehaven, you're Shrikehaven for life. Do the hand gesture, obviously. Now, I'm concerned, King, because you chose to put his body on a ship and light it on fire. So this was not what was contemplated here, but obviously we didn't have the note beforehand. Anyway, it continues. P.S. It'd be cool if you could open a dojo to train others in the martial arts. Maybe call it the Sportitarium. My parents are retired and would probably be cool to come run it or help. Whatever. You guys decide. I'm sure I'd be cool with it. Signed, Kritala.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
I mean, we own the lake, don't we?
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. I mean, in spirit, the funeral may not have followed Kritala's wishes exactly, but we'll eventually own all of that lake. And so
he's still in the kingdom.
Be in Shrikehaven.
Donnie wrote that for me.
I'd kind of forgotten that I'd written that, to be honest with you.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
So good. That was so good. That's awesome.
Deciding to have my new PC, Jubilos Northropple, deliver that was all me.
That's brilliant.
That was the right choice.
He goes, in any event, I suppose I'll get back to work. Are there any questions of policy that you need me to weigh in on, or are you good to go?
Not really. I mean, Kritala had a unique style of bookkeeping. So are you using, generally accepted accounting principles now, or like how are you doing it?
Using quick scrolls or
the more traditional pen and ledger system. Kritala seemed to be obsessed with receipts. I'm not going to run things that way. Mostly we just need to talk about tax policy again at some point. I'm getting a ton of shit from my old business. But we can figure that out another time.
Yeah, I mean, the next kingdom turns. I mean, the next month we can revisit this.
Okay. I'm looking forward to having a deep conversation about tax policy with you.
Mr. Northropple, did you have any other statements to read? Perhaps apologies to the public for selling swill as forms of a book, perhaps? Maybe next time you can bring that one and announce that one instead. Good day, sir. I said good day.
You say this as he's leaving.
I do.
He just turns around and walks off. He's not going to engage with Ogjulinus and Tompton. Maybe you should, though. That'd be fun. But no, I'm not going to do it.
That would be an episode all on its own that I would just sit out of.
Yep.
Can you imagine if,
you guys just rolling against each other?
Oh my God.
Intellect checks.
Which is kind of what we do, honestly, except you guys roll against him too.
No, I want to see like an episode of debate between
like
you
a
two.
debate,
like a full, like just
full
rolling
debate.
Yeah. Recall knowledge check.
That would be hilarious.
That'd be so good.
Okay, so Northropple exits, and a few minutes later, Octavia enters. She says, King and advisors, thank you for your consideration. Do you have instructions for me at this time?
Yeah, we've discussed it, and your plan has merit. You sound ambitious enough, but I don't think now is the right time to put this plan in motion. I'd say, later on toward the middle of the year, summerish time, once we've had a chance to establish our kingdom more and grow a little bit, we'd definitely be looking at expanding. I kind of had another thought. As a condition of being the mayor or governor of this new settlement, we need you to go back to Gregory and tell him that you will agree to help overthrow us. We need more information on his plans, if he's recruited or tried to recruit other people, and we need to put a stop to this. And that's a condition of us letting you go out and establish the settlement.
Make a diplomacy check.
Diplo time. I got a 24 total.
She thinks for a moment, and she says, well, yes, I can do this for you. King, I watched you put on a leg iron to try to save me. My loyalty is to you, and Grigori is not good for this kingdom. I don't know who he works for or who sent him here or what his motives are, but I do know he seeks to overthrow you, but he doesn't seek to do it through force. My read is that he wants to try to take you down at the ballot box. That's why he sought to use me.
Ballot box.
I don't even know what that is.
What is the ballot box?
What is the ballot box?
What is this word?
Let me rephrase, knuckleheads. He wants to defeat you through turning public opinion against you. Now, that having been said, I would be willing to tell Grigori that I have reconsidered his offer, and maybe I can help you work against him in public.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm kind of thinking about this more, Octavia, so why don't for now hold off on telling him that you're going to work with him, and we will see how the first of hopefully only debates turns out. Because if I'm remembering right, when we came back into town, I didn't quite challenge him to one, but said he'd meet him at the next time and place whenever he does his thing in the town square. So we'll see how that shakes out.
He goes on every Sunday afternoon. That's in 2 days. Have you been working with your speechwriters? Have you been preparing?
I have. We've been having mock debates. I mean, who's playing Gregory? I am. Oh yeah, Draco May is playing Gregory. I mean, we're prepared.
Okay, good. Understood. Yes, thank you.
Do we give her a hard time for the kingdom? Like, we just say spring, summer, fall.
I just said summer.
Okay, summer.
I mean, yeah. So the thing is that you're going to have to do the clear hex region activity, but then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the establish village kingdom activity for free, because she's going to do that for you. So there's a bit of an action economy boon to this too. But yeah, the clear hex thing has to happen. So, this probably gives you time to claim the hex. It seems like a good idea maybe to hold off.
Also, if we don't use her to spy on Greg for us, we could actually use her to help build your reputation in the city. Because she is a good orator.
I think that's a good point. Ultimately, and this is probably something we're going to do next time, but the Grigori encounter, if you choose to meet him, in the court of public opinion, amounts to, checks. You can work with Octavia to give yourself a bonus, or, you can have her try to subvert, Grigori's position and maybe give him some penalties. I don't know. That's kind of where my mind went when you talked about using her as double agent, but I suppose it's a horse apiece,
and that brings up another thing, like that there's going to be an audience. And there's interaction with the audience. There's an energy that builds when someone, on the stage says something that they agree with or disagree with. Yeah. And maybe Octavia could, push a few buttons in the audience to tilt them or sway them one way or another.
So she smiles at that and she says, that, King, is my style. That's how we can work together.
All right. I'll see you Sunday.
Sunday.
She leaves. And as you look out, she opens up the door and the sun comes streaming through, and you see that Ragongar was out there waiting for her, her partner. And that, he didn't come in with her, but that he's like, he's got her fucking back, right?
Is there any more business we need to attend to?
Do you feel as though you've conducted the kingdom's business for the day?
Well, I feel like
we feel accomplished.
I feel we need to make a plan for our next.
The only other pressing thing right now are the black tier thing that happened,
and Chris's small problem.
Yeah, the king's ailment.
The king's issue.
Yeah, the king's issue. Like I said, I think the populace has bought your story. You certainly didn't get anything from Octavia about that,
But if we're going to sit here for like 3 months, 4 months, and like the king is always out of sight and not around, like I think that the king needs to make a schedule choice of like being in bed at midnight every night, like never be seen at midnight, like ever.
Right?
Yeah.
Either that or we
have a strict schedule.
Yeah. Either that or we need to make like a supply run to Oleg's around the 25th, so we're gone for like 10 days.
Is Valerie still around? Maybe
Val.
Maybe Valerie. Oh, she's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
No, she's gone.
Who's Valerie?
I thought she was still hanging around town, but she's completely gone. Okay.
No, like I said, she notified Sirio, like, I'm going back to rest off.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I remember you saying that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can we delete her from the journal on Roll20?
No. She still exists in the world.
Maybe that's it. For Chris's thing, we could be like, hey, we're going to rest off to go conduct official business. The king's going up there for whatever. And then we just take Chris on the road. And then
you want to take him out?
That way, when he changes, we just let him run in the woods and do what he does.
Oh, yeah. Kill, like, woods children.
Let him run.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Look, it worked out well last time. We just chased food around for 6 hours.
I also killed some townsfolk.
Well, we're not going to be in town.
So is there a place where we could build something that outside of town where we could always be gone, but we really just go to this one spot and we build a place to, like,
the temple, the elf temple.
Tusk Gutter's lair.
Oh, the cave. Yeah, the cave.
We could lock it up.
Claimed it.
Lair.
And that way we can have an excuse to, always be traveling, because the reason we have to come back here is so we can lock him up, right? But if we have it someplace else, we can be gone, and that doesn't raise suspicions then.
Is there anything at the temple?
So the Temple of the Elk is still broken down. If you were to, I think I've talked about this a long time ago, but if you were to eventually claim it, there's an activity where you restore it to a Temple of Aristal. But, we're far from that at this point.
Or we head back and try to find, what was it to cure?
Wolfsbane?
Yeah,
Wolfsbane.
we can go look for
Which
that
is
again. Or
our
I was wondering if we
for
could
sure.
send somebody out.
Does
To
it
the
grow in the
south.
winter?
It's to the south. That's all we know.
Yeah.
At this point, I got to give a shout out to, I got a channel on our Discord server with other Kingmaker GMs, and we talk about stuff sometimes. You guys can't see it, which is kind of cool.
I don't think so.
One guy pointed out a couple things to me about Wolfsbane. The first thing about Wolfsbane is that it cannot cure lycanthropy if a transformation has already occurred.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
The second thing about Wolfsbane is that you're not permitted to do any healing or anything during the poison
Oh, fuck.
Oh, wow.
phases.
Oh, that's hardcore.
Yeah.
So you can't survive
otherwise it doesn't
Wolfsbane.
work.
I need more HP.
Yeah. Now, that's not to say that the Wolfsbane, that's not to say that the quest to get Wolfsbane is futile. You recall that Boken the Hermit can create medicine to stave off the effects. And that's, I think, really why you want Wolfsbane. But I wanted to clarify for listeners that the intent is not actually to have Sirio just consume it, because it's too late. But Boken can still help you with it.
Okay, so really, instead of a cure, there's more of a treatment to subdue the effects.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of lean, I guess, wiggle room around lycanthropy with, how many full moons there are every month.
Sometimes the full moon lasts for 3 nights.
Sometimes there's no full moon. It's weird.
It's crazy.
But the cool thing is if you're a werewolf, your target will get placed right in front of you when the encounter starts.
Yep.
So it makes it easier to
It's great.
By some magical means.
That was a weird decision I made that day, and but look what's happened. It's so wonderful to have the king with lycanthropy. I like it.
That's funny.
Fellas, we're going to end with this. Something begins to occur in your settlement. You know how I like to stack problems on top of problems?
Yep.
That stresses me out in real life, so I like to do that to you in fake life. I need... Oh, it's a secret check.
Ooh.
Oh, I have to roll it. 1 second. Oh, that's an 18 on the die.
Oh, fuck.
Well, it could be a good thing. Maybe we
That
get
could be
something.
good.
I just rolled a secret intrigue check for you guys.
Intriguing.
18 on the die, plus 9, correct? 27. Critical success. As you guys close out the day, Amiri appears.
It's always a mirror.
And she informs you that 2 kobold spies have been captured. People who were slinking around your kingdom, looking around, rabble-rousing, causing trouble. And she's got them. She's got them right there. She's got them, manacled, and one of them is red, and one of them looks maybe kind of suit scaly.
Oh, get Micmac.
Get Jathel. We're going to get to the bottom of this.